Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Crafting with V. If you are new here, welcome. So glad to have you. And if you're returning, thank you so much for stopping by and seeing me. Hope you hit that subscribe button. But today we are going to do a little coffee chatting with. Got a few things to talk about, and right now I've only been able to do about one of these a week. Hopefully that will increase later on, but right now that's what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my other camera. I'm still working on Little Helpers by Ann Stokes and Diamond Art Club. I was gonna bring my cross stitch in here and show you my progress on it, but I might do that towards the end, just give you a little peek at that, and then towards the end of this, I may try to pull this out. I was going to do it before I started, but that didn't happen. Anyway, let's go on over to the other camera real quick, and let's have a little chat. Okay, so I'm going to be working on this little square right here. I'm going to have to take these off. You know what? I might just do this whole big square right here because this wasn't big enough to cover all of it. But I think we're going to work. Can you see the whole thing there? Even if I scoot this back just a tad. Okay. So, I would have done this yesterday, but I was so aggravated yesterday that it would not have been good for me to do a coffee chat and WIP. And in fact, I'm still aggravated, but it's not really something that I can talk a whole lot about. All I can say is some people are worthless. Nothing about any of my subscribers or anything, but this is family stuff. And that's all I will say on that matter. Is some people are absolutely worthless. So what I will probably end up doing is taking all of my extra money that I have, and I'm going to go and get a few more gifts for the grandkids, just to make sure that everything turns out okay for their Christmas. But yeah, I'm just a little bit aggravated. And like I said, it's nothing that I can really talk about on here. But I'm going to get away from that before I start getting a little even more aggravated. So anyway, work this weekend was actually pretty slow, which really, really surprised me. I thought that we would be a lot busier than what we were. I have a feeling that Sunday is going to be Saturday and Sunday are going to be really busy because it's 2 days before Christmas, and we do not have a second and third round on the stuff that we do have coming in on Christmas Eve. So I have a feeling that Saturday is probably going to end up being overbooked because corporate likes to push things in even though we're full. But anyway, so that Saturday is going to be really, really busy. People trying to get home for the holidays, and all the excuses why we need to let them in are going to start coming out. And then around the holidays is when a lot of the drivers that I deal with start getting really, really aggravated and stuff, because if they're late on that day, they normally do not take them. And I do have a few stories about that, that I might try to do in another whip and chat. Some of the things that we have heard as excuses and stuff whenever people are late getting there. But anyway, this last weekend was very chill, no issues, just really, really slow. I was really, really surprised. And then Josh was actually off on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, so I spent a little bit of extra time with him yesterday. I've had 2 of my grandkids this week because one of them got sent home from school Monday because he was running a fever and he couldn't go back on Tuesday or Wednesday. But since Courtney didn't go into work yesterday, then I only had the 2 of them on Tuesday. Yesterday I ended up taking my grandson out to get his birthday presents. I just took him out to Walmart and let him choose some stuff that he wanted. He chose some Lego. Blocks with that. It's a little building set of Minecraft. He loves Minecraft. And he actually wanted some stuff with Puss in Boots, but around here, I could not find nothing with Puss in Boots, so I wasn't able to get that for him. And that was something that was on his list for Christmas as well. I do have a new webcam coming in. I just ordered it yesterday. It probably will not be here before Christmas, but so happy that I'll have that coming in, and I'm hoping that that will make a big difference in how I can get my setup in here. Ever since I moved it from the living room, I haven't quite gotten it the way that I want it. This is okay, but I just don't like having the tripod on my table because I'm so afraid that my video is going to shake really bad if I move the table a little bit too much, because this one, it's just a little bit uneven. I do have some little blocks under it, but they're not quite just right, so it does shake some. Let's see. What color do we want to do now? How about we'll do this little slash mark right here. So Lazy Retired Granny, I hope you really enjoy doing those paw print coasters. I loved working on mine, and they turned out really, really cute. I do still have to seal them, and the only reason I still have to seal them is because the sealant that I use, I try to go outside with, but I don't want to do it inside because I use the Mimwax, and it's been too cold to go outside. today would actually be a good day to go out there and do that because it is, right now, it's in the upper 50s. So it's not really, really cold. It's, by the way, it's December 21st. And it's actually a pretty nice day out there right now. I think we're supposed to get some rain later today. But right now it's a little bit of a nice day. Just so y'all know, I really do not like Stardust gifts that she's been trying to bring me. Last night I was sitting in here and I was diamond painting. It was probably the only thing that could keep me a little bit calmer once I got done with everything that we needed to do yesterday. We went grocery shopping and stuff. And I had the doggy door open so the pets could freely go in and out. And my Stardust waltzes in with not a dead bird this time. It was very much alive. And it was stunned, but it wasn't hurt. So I got her away from it, and I managed to, it was still pretty stunned. So I managed to get the dustpan and kind of scoot it up on the dustpan and then take it back outside and let it go. And it did fly off once I put it down. I set it down and made sure that it wasn't just gonna stay stunned there, but it finally did fly off. So I just don't like her gifts that she's been bringing me lately. And she walked in here and she looked like she was just so proud of that bird. And I don't know if I've just never seen this type of bird up close. I really didn't pay attention to what kind it was. But this bird had one of the longest beaks that I've ever seen on a bird that size. But I could not for the life of me tell you what kind of bird it was. All I know is she decided that she was going to bring that bird in here. So it flew off and everything, and whenever I took it out and let it go, I haven't seen her this morning. Hopefully she does not bring me another. Actually, I take that back. I did see her. She was in the house this morning, and I had to let her out because as soon as I walked out of my bedroom, she was talking to me. She was wanting outside, and somehow this room, the door had gotten closed, so she couldn't just waltz outside herself. I'm still using my nano tape, the same piece that I've been using, although with this pen, you notice that, no, you can't see that it's a different pen. Hold on. Do not. Gonna close that. Maybe you can see it. So, trying to get it to where you can see it. You notice that it's a little bit of a different pen than I normally use. Well, this one is the one that I had it in. Had my tips in. But I dropped it on the floor and broke it. So I'm either going to have to just use one end of this or throw this one away. And that over there was one of my favorite pens. So I had to switch my tips to that other one. But what color was I doing? I was this. I call it a little peel or a bean. I think more a bean on this symbol. There's so many things, like this little triangle with the smaller triangle in it. I call that a tent. I have no clue why I come up with some of these things that I do. And then there's one on here. It's this one. I don't think that you can see it, but it's just the lime with the, I'll have to point it out next time and get a close-up of it. But here, I'll do it this way. And this, can you see that one? Let's try to get it to where you can see it. Anyway, that one right there, I used to call that Pregnant Lexi, because my daughter was so skinny before she had her son, and that's basically what she looked like in the 9th month of pregnancy. But she's actually put on just enough weight now that she's not so skinny since she every time I see that symbol, it reminds me of her whenever she was pregnant. I know that's strange, but that's me. Anyway, what was I talking about? I do have to go to work today. I will be leaving here in just a little bit, so this will not get posted until after I get home, but I will post it today. Right now it's like 8:27 in the morning. I am going to go and see my mom today. I'm going to go, and since we're not doing anything ourselves on Christmas Day, we're going to have our Christmas on the 27th. I am going to go down there and spend some time with her on Christmas Day. Probably go down there during her lunch. I probably won't eat lunch there, but I'll go and sit with her and give her her gifts and stuff. If I could take her out and stuff on Christmas Day, I would. But in order for me to do that, last time I tried to take her with us for Christmas, she wasn't quite in a lift and she could stand a little bit more and all that, and I could move her. I could get her in the car and stuff, but now I can't do that, and she's too big for me to lift and stuff, even with help. So I'm just going to go and spend some time with her down there on Christmas Day. Give her her gifts, and my daughter actually got her something really neat for Christmas. She hasn't given it to her yet. She won't be down here until the 27th. So we'll make a visit over to her to give her the gift for my daughter. But my mom is always, always, always wanting pictures of the grandkids and stuff. So with this, she got her a digital picture frame that she can actually, And she gave us the app and all the information that we need so that we can go in there and add pictures to her picture frame anytime we want to. So if she takes a picture of her son and she wants to share it with my mom, she can just automatically add it. And she can see this little, and it goes through all the pictures and stuff. So I think that she is really, really going to enjoy that. And don't worry, she doesn't watch my YouTube channel, so I'm not ruining her surprise on that. Love the pop of this. You can still hear the pop on it. I am so happy with this nano tape. I really am. I love being able to hear that popping sound, and I loved using glue dots once I got them to where I could use them, but it would take me forever to get them unsticky enough so that I could actually get stuff to stay. And then whenever I would use them on ABs, it would pull the coating off of there. And so far, this nano tape hasn't done that. So I can use this nano tape on all of it. I'm still running across the few little spots on this canvas that aren't real sticky. And like I said before, this was from my daughter got it for me from a D-stash. So I don't know if it's just because it was an older kit or that there's just spots on it that are like that. But they do end up staying once I get them on there. And I've even tried to switch on those to just using a pen with wax in it, and it wasn't just the nano tape grabbing too hard. It was literally those spots just didn't have very good stick. I'm moving right along on my cross stitch. I've actually been working on it a lot more lately. And I think part of that is I am so excited to start one of the other cross stitches that I got. Either one of them will work, but I think I'm going to do the cat one first. That one is just so pretty. I love it, and it won't take me that long. And then I've got that little needle threader that's a magnet too. I absolutely love that. And in all reality, you could actually use that as a cover minder as well. I've got plenty of the extra little back magnets that go on the back of them. So I could easily use that as a cover minder as well. Those little clips, I haven't tried it on a Diamond Art Club. Granny was asking me if they would work on diamond paintings, and I really don't think that they would, but I'm going to try to find something here pretty soon, and I'm going to show you something that might work. I'm going to try it out myself first. I don't want to say that it works and then try it and it doesn't work. But I am almost done with this side. I don't know if once I finish to right about here, the spot that you can see on here, if I'm going to flip it around and do the other side then, or if I'm going to work a little bit more and then flip it around. I just have not decided yet. Do I have any? Yeah, I have lots more of these, but I haven't. Why do I still have the L out? 39. That goes there. Okay. And last night, it was so funny, and I wish I would have recorded it. Would have been recording. Y'all would have had just the biggest laugh. Okay. I love, since they've came out with these little Skittle littles, I love these things. And every week, whenever we go grocery shopping, I get me one of these. I just get one a week. Anyway, I keep the little containers because eventually, if I get enough of them, I'm going to start using those as my extra drill storage on certain colors that have a lot. So I do keep them and I do use them. Well, I was sitting here eating some of those while I was diamond painting. And what do? I pick up my Skittle container, which is half full of Skittles. I hadn't quite emptied it yet. And I start pouring the drills in there out of my tray. Oh, after I did that, I was like, what the heck? So I had to pour out the Skittles into the tray and pick out the Skittles. And then pour the drills back into the container that they went in. I could not believe that I did that. Absolutely could not believe it. Oh, this day, what time is it? 8:36. I've got about an hour before I have to leave to go down there. So maybe we're at 27 minutes. I may go ahead and want to record just a little bit longer because I have not done one of these in a while. I really hope you, and I've noticed a lot of my videos lately are not getting a lot of the comments. I don't know if there's something wrong with them. I've got to go in and look at my settings on some stuff and see what's going on. But come on. But all in all, I think people are just really busy this time of year. If it's anything like me, I listen to a lot of the whipping chats while I'm in my car. And then I will try to go back and put comments on them, but I always give them a thumbs up whenever I listen in my car. And that might just be what's going on. What else has been going on? Okay. I'm going to pause this real quick and I'm going to go and get my cross stitch and show you where I'm at on it right now. And after that, I will probably go ahead and let you go. But love that popping sound. I know y'all probably get tired of me saying that, but I love that popping sound. But okay, let me pause this real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. Hold on just a second. I'm going to try to zoom y'all back out. Ignore my mess on the side of the desk. But anyway. So I am definitely loving this right here. This is the needle threader. And like I told you, since it's magnetic, you can put a little backing on it and use it as a cover minder. Absolutely love that. These are the little clips that they gave me. They look like silicone. And it holds this part of the canvas, this back here, out of my way where I can stitch up here. I do really like that. I'm going to take this off. I got to readjust it anyway for the next part that I'm going to work on. But I just want to show you where I'm at on it. Okay. So I don't want to lay it on that. I've been working right in here on the wing. I've gotten I've gotten all of this little fairy over here done, but I'm working more on the wing here and over here a little bit. And then this is the main fairy that's in it. So I'll start working on it next. Not a whole lot of progress on it, but I'm getting there. I'm really enjoying working on this whenever I'm out and about. And it's a very nice. I really like it. I've got to go back through and do these 3865s on here that are scattered through it. Confetti, though, on a cross stitch, I will say is a lot more work than confetti on a diamond painting. I'm going to try to figure out how to, I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to start converting some of these cross stitches to diamond paintings. And that will be here very soon. I'm hoping to start doing that maybe next week. But I will warn you, I will have all my grandkids here, so you are going to hear a lot. I'm probably going to have a lot of interruptions during my recordings. But that's okay. Okay, let's get this other one on here. And this does have 4 of these. Right now I'm just using 2 of them to hold this in there. But it works out okay. Anyway, that is what I have done on my cross stitch so far. I cannot wait to start on that kitty cat one. Oh, by the way, I do have my coffee, which is French vanilla creamer. I gotta go warm it up though because it got cold. And I don't know anybody else, if any of y'all do cross stitch, this is how I organize my threads. Is I wrap them on these and I have them numbered. And then I have the same amount on these over here. I'm going to show this to you. These over here, you have to split these into 3 threads for the canvas that I'm working on. So all of these in this line are the ones that I have split, and I've got the other half. So I have the number right there, the color that it is. And I always have those so that I can switch it and have it on there. Anyway. Okay, let me pause this again and I will try to get you a view of the canvas that I've gotten so far. Let me put this up real quick. I know I still got some more of these to do, but I'm fixing to have to get ready for work, so. But I'm going to pause you real quick. Okay, so right here is what I have got completed on this so far. Here very shortly, probably after I finish this one and this one over here, and maybe the frog one, I will be flipping it around to the other side to work on that side. But I was hoping to have this done by Christmas, but I'm not going to. But that's okay. It'll be more than likely. I will go ahead and hang it up for a while anyway, just because I want to. It may even go up here on my little display thing. Right now, I have my unicorn up there, but this is what I've gotten done so far. Anyway, if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe, comment. Leave those comments. I would love to hear from y'all. I do answer all my comments, even though sometimes it does take me a while to get back to them. But I would be so happy if you would comment. Just subscribe, like, all that YouTube stuff, and I will see you next time. Everyone, take care. Bye.